Okay, Bill, I appreciate the interview today so much. And we've put a paver down in your honor in the Village Memorial Garden. And it's anchored by this statue. It's Jesus holding a World War II soldier. And this is a piece that's, Timothy Smaltz, if you Google him, has put pieces in the Vatican, Israel. He's world renowned. He is a true prodigy. And so Tim gave me this, and I want to give this to you, and thank you for your service, thank you for your life, and thank you for the interview today. And that's what is 6 feet tall when you get to see it. It's on stone, and at night it's lit 24 hours a day. In fact, I'm going to show you real time. I can show him what's happening in that garden in just a few minutes. But I want to give this to you, and thank you for your effort. And we'll get you out to see it, the real live. And Tim has his initials in there, Tim Smaltz. But in 1999, it was commissioned, and it was effectively, again, in Naples. And we went to a church, and this was the spot where this used to have been was empty. We went downtown Naples.
Now, coincidentally, we were at Best Buy 2 days ago.
Yes.
Is it right down the street from Best Buy?
Yeah.
Dad, we saw this.
It's short.
We saw this very statue. Remember, I said, look at that statue, and we both noticed it.
Matthew.
Yeah.
This side of get back.
So that's your church.
That's the garden. But the church has no investment in this.
Right. Well, that's awesome. We love that statue.
That church.
We actually stopped the car.
Did you?
And to look at it. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yes. That is the one, and that is the garden. And when the plants all grow up, it's going to be extremely, extremely nice. But that's something for you to have and remember, awesome. And again, your paver. But I'd like one day to get pictures of him in the garden.
We'll arrange that with you for sure.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
That's good.
Awesome.
And I'm working on shirts like this. That's it's going to be better where we have a shirt with a flag and basically, the top half of the statue on it. I'm changing so that Jesus will stand out better. Right now it blends in too much with the shoulder. But I'm going to bring 3 shirts to the Crispy Warriors.
That's great.
And 3 caps. And I'm going to wear, when I'm not wearing the Crispy Warrior, I'm going to wear one of these every day. I've had people stop up and say, man, those shirts are nice. It's the same shirt also, by the way, that you wear, the Crispy Warrior shirt. Same lady. And so I'm going to get caps, and I'm going to see there's people there that want them. But this is my way every day of trying to remember this when I'm not wearing a Christmas, to people on the street. Let's stop and ask, wow, that's nice. Flag, soldier, in the arms of Jesus.
Ooh.
And it leads to an opportunity to say, we appreciate you at your service. And what can I say?
I'm just proud to have this. God bless you.
It means a lot to me, too. He's my man.
Yeah,
Ron.
Well, like we said a few minutes ago, we're just very, very happy and impressed with all of these good works you're doing, just because you want to. That's just tremendous. We thank you.
What we have in just a quick, the next order will be in here by the 25th, I think, and it's right now we have 116 pavers down. The next order's around 100. It's almost going to double the size. And at the entrance, we have one 8x8 for the unknown soldier.
Right.
And what I'm doing, and I'm going back to the Civil War through about 13 wars where we have been involved in. And I'm doing an 8x8 for the war and the number of Americans lost. And it's going to be at the front, and we're going to have the most decorated, person, honor, all is going to also have a paver at that head. So you'll have Rickenbacker in World War I.
Yeah.
You're going to have, what was the actor? Mine just went blank. He turned, anyway, mine went blank. But he became a movie actor after he's the most decorated in World War II. And then Korea, most decorated. Vietnam, most decorated. Then we got probably, the Desert War. We go right on into Well, listen, I actually missed one. We started the Civil War. Then with the Battle of 1812, Spain, and we lost people in that. And then we get up to the Civil War. Have I got that right? Yeah, 1776, 1812, about 1861 probably was the start of the Civil War. And then we go from the Civil War to World War I. And then Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm. We're going to have all those heads, so people will realize how many wars we've been in and how many Americans cumulatively have been lost. Now, if you double or triple that, you can get the number wounded, you know. But the bottom line, that's going to be in our next order. I'm real happy because there'll be a walking history of the wars in there, and I'm very proud of that. So I'm looking forward to those pavers coming in.
Wonderful.
Where are you going to put all these?
Pavers, I've got, actually, I'm going to show you a few pictures on my phone here. Actually, I can show you what's happening in that garden right now on my phone. I have an app.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's dead.
Oh, your phone battery's dead.
You have an Apple?
No, we Android.
Please. But I have pictures that I could show you what's moving in that garden right now. And I can do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I can look and see who's in that garden and what's happening. And I wish that phone had not been dead, but you know, I'll send you some pictures.
Sure, email him and I'll make sure he sees them.
Yeah, and of the statue at night, there was one particularly it hit me. It was clouded up, you know, to the east, and it was about dark, and I got a good picture, and it just touches my heart of that Jesus holding that soldier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we were just driving by and we saw.
You didn't know?
We had no clue.
Because it's back up there.
But the statue just struck us. As just being profound enough that we pulled the car over there and stopped it and looked at it.
Yeah. Well, that came, it was commissioned to a church in Naples. We visited, the church had been abandoned, went downtown Naples, and there the statue stood right out in front of the antique dealer. And I saw people coming by and they would stop. They had to go back, they had to touch it. You know, people were really moved by the statue. So, you know, we went in, I asked the dealer, I said, what's your price? And he says, well, you know, oh my God, I couldn't figure out any way to buy that. No way, you know, I was like, what if I call a pastor or what if I call a church? But I'm thinking, you know, without seeing something, how can you authorize me, you know? So that was in October of 2016. And in February, I had the death of a pastor that had mentored me, and we weren't going to the wedding. I mean, to the funeral on Monday morning. I had my grandkids in on Saturday and Sunday. I played. I said, and physically, I just didn't feel. I said, there's no way to go. But on Saturday afternoon, his daughter put on Facebook a song that he sang. He was a great singer. I just cried. I said to my wife, I said, we're getting the bus ready. We're going in after church tomorrow. We're going down to Central Florida, Lakeland. And we loaded up, put the dogs in, and we stepped in a Home Depot parking lot. But this is how God works. I said, listen, since we're this far down, why don't we go down to Naples and enjoy? We have a lot there, you know, in a park. So we went on down. So Tuesday, let's go up and have dinner. We were tired in Naples. We go up, and first parking space, the statue just was still sitting there. Now that's from October, you know, now to February. I'm thinking, I went in and she says, that man, you know, that's too pricey. I'm gonna go shop for clothes. I said, well, I'm gonna go in and talk to the guy. So I went into the guy, and the guy says, you know, I said, listen, I'm surprised he's here today. He says, it wasn't, it just got back. I said, what do you mean got back? He said this was shipped to Cleveland, Ohio, and on its way to Toledo. Well, I spent my last 16 years of my career before moving here in Cleveland. So this statue had gone to Cleveland. They couldn't finish paying for it. So it came back. He just put it there. And I went in and I asked him, I said, sir, what's the price of Jesus today? You don't remember me. I know. I didn't look good the day I come in. I'm not your high. One of your elephants will go for $30,000 in here. I just want to know what the... and he looked at me and he's like a little serious. He says, well, did you see the sign outside? I said, no, I didn't see any sign. He says, well, the wholesalers are coming in, you know, on Monday, and I'm liquidating, getting out of business. Sotheby's will be in, and that will go. I said, that's going to go? I said, well, what's your price of Jesus today? So he says, well, what can you afford? Now, I know what he was asking. This was valued at $75,000 in 2015. So now he wasn't asking that price, but then I was a big way he had to go. I'm like, my God, what am I going to do? I don't even know where the number came from. I just threw it out. I said before, I said, you going to laugh at me when I throw out a number? I said, you will laugh. Oh, no, I thought, and I threw out a number, he laughed. I said, see, I told you, you'd laugh. And I said, but this needs to be up in our part of the state, in Destin, near the military. This is the perfect place it should be. And so with it, he started looking serious. Like, I think he'd made a lot of his money in life, and at that point I don't think the money was the end deal for him. And he got very serious, like touched by the fact that we have all the military and the special ops and Herbert and Eglin. And he said, add $5,000 to it and yours. I said, it's done.
Wow.
Like that. And I walked out and I called the pastor and I said, listen, do you have a place in Destin to put this thing? It's coming to Destin.
Uh-huh.
It's just a matter of where it's going to be.
Right.
And he said, let me think about it. This is now, you remember now, from Wednesday to Friday, you think about Jesus. Now, I had 3 days, right? 3 days. So I'm having this conversation with him on Wednesday. And I'm already bought. I said, I said, don't worry about finance. Just tell me, do you have a place for it? He said, well, I'll have to pray about it and let you know. So Wednesday goes by. Thursday's coming. I got to know something. That thing's got to get out of there. Yeah. And I'm kind of down, actually, because I had not heard back from the pastor. I get back to the bus from downtown Naples, and there is a message in about, 8 o'clock or so on my computer, and it said, we've got the place for it. And I then, closed the deal on it and got it shipped. It got back up here to Destin before I did, and it was wrapped in a blue blanket in our coffee shop. It looked like body wrapped up in there for months and months and months. It took 5 months to get the city to even get that little project approved. But the bottom line is, we got it done, but if it had not been, think about this, I was not going back down, but the funeral drew me to that part. I was not going to Naples, but I decided to go, and I go back, and the statue came from Cleveland, where I've just lived the last 16 years, right back there, and it was going to Sotheby's. So in 3 days, the deal struck, and the final figure, and that's the story for the most part.
That's a tremendous story.
Now, Tim Smaltz is a phenomenal sculptor. I would like you to go in and Google him and see what he's
How do you
got
spell
on.
his name?
Timothy J. Smaltz, SCHMALZ, no T in it.
All right.
Okay, Smaltz. And he's impressive. He was supposed to ship out his biggest piece yet to the Vatican in August. But he and I have dialogue. Who would have think that I would be, through all of this, have his private phone number and talking with him? Because he wanted to know. I said, you want to see how Americans dedicate? And I have, by the way, the dedication ceremony I have on my phone, our computer, I can send to you too.
Please do.
Of the ceremony, it's edited, and you can see the song I wrote for that was sung.
You wrote it.
I wrote it.
Yeah, please send that.
Yeah, I'll send that to you. But it's a miracle. I don't look at it as anything of a miracle. In no way was I supposed to be down.
Well, Ron, I know that I speak for Dad when I say that you're an impressive person, and we are very, very impressed with the works that you're doing on behalf of our veterans. Thank you.
Well, I thank you. Thank you
very much.
Thank you. God bless again.
God bless you.